bedroom, and I'm sorry about the fumes. I just painted it a couple days ago.
That's not that bad. That's a nice bedroom.
Well, thanks. As far as ghostly activity, really not much happens in here. It's kind of a strange thing. It just seems like that the entity respects my privacy for some reason.
Who would have thought that? You're saying, well, it doesn't come in here, is that what you're saying?
I don't think so. However, that doesn't mean that it doesn't mess with me. And if you'll come back out here, I'll show you what it does.
Okay, sure.
Something you may have noticed when we came up here was how much noise the floor makes. Did you notice that?
I didn't know. I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry.
All right, well, let me show you.
Okay.
Almost every night when I'm trying to sleep, I hear that very series of noises.
Wow.
And then it's as if the entity is just stopping right here and signaling that it wants to play or something. You know, nothing ever happens after that, but it's still darn frightening, I tell you.
And you never hear him walk away or anything? It just stays there?
No, it just stays there all night long.
God, that is creepy.
You know, I mean, it still frightens me, I have to say, after all these years. This one time I had some out-of-town friends spend the night here in the guest room, and the next morning we were at breakfast, and they said, Greg, you know, why were you going up and down the stairs all night long? And I just didn't have the heart to tell them that it wasn't me, it was the entity. You know, I could not tell them, oh, it was a ghost, it wasn't me.
So they heard it?
They heard it, yeah. They were awake a number of times during the evening.
Well, that's probably a good idea you didn't tell them what it actually was.
Yeah, they'd never be back. I'd never seen them again. So.
It's like a music studio in here.
Yeah, I do a little bit of everything. All right, now this room is very interesting because, you know, a couple years ago I was out of town on business, as I often am, and my neighbor across the street over there, Ron, gives me a call and says, hey, Greg, I thought you were out of town. And I said, you know, Ron, I am. What's up? He goes, all the lights in your house are on, and there's, you know, somebody standing by the window. And, you know, and actually he's so convinced of that he calls the cops.
Really?
Yeah. And the cops show up, and by the time they get there, you know, everything's back to normal. Lights are off, nobody by the window. And, you know, Ron is really a straight shooter. He's like a no bullshit kind of guy. So, I mean, I take whatever he says as being truthful. He would have not made that up. What I'm about to show you may make you want to run out of this house screaming, so you have to promise me, both of you, that you're not going to do that, all right?
Okay, I promise.
All right? Yeah. All right, off to the basement.
Okay, we'll follow you then.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Watch your step.
This is kind of creepy.
Yeah, it is. So, as you can see, it's a dark and scary basement. Would you agree?
I couldn't disagree with you.
Can you tell me if either of you have ever seen anything like this before?
What's that?
This. Have you ever seen something like this before?
Well, it says storm sewer on it.
No, it's not. It's actually a well. And it used to serve as the house's main source of water.
You're kidding me.
No, I mean, this is not the kind of thing you find in the basement of a home, but yet every home in this neighborhood has one. So this basement and this well have a particular story, both.
Please tell me what this story is.
The house was built in around 1930, and the gentleman who built the house had a wife who was a little on the psycho side. To make a long story short, children in the neighborhood started going missing. And the neighbors suspected this woman because she was so strange.
Wow.
So when they investigated, they found that the children had been chopped up and their bodies disposed of in this well.
In this thing?
In this, right here, in this basement.
You're kidding me.
No, and the thing is, you know, there's really been no evidence of that. I can't really find any hard evidence, but you have to wonder how something like that ever got started if there wasn't some basis in truth.
What is this thing? What is that?
Well, that's our only way to access this. This thing weighs about as much as a house. So, you know, if it were down, it would take a special tool to lift it. So we leave those pliers stuck in there just to be able to take the lid off if ever that were necessary. And every house in the neighborhood has one, but, you know, we did install the cap there, you know, to keep odors and other, you know, rodents and that sort of thing out.
But you're saying if we took that top off right there, you would be able to see well water?
Yeah, and it's quite deep, probably 20 or 30 feet down into the ground.
That is creepy.
It's spooky.
Well, I appreciate it, Greg. I really do.
Glad you guys could come here. And,
Wes, I appreciate your hospitality.
I wish you all the luck on your project.
Yeah. I guess we got a 3-hour plane trip back home, so we'll